Anyone that's been successful selling to the US government understands that the best way to win government contracts is by creating relationships with the people in the federal marketplace that can actually buy what you sell. And in this episode, we're going to tell you the number one way to do that. My name's Ricky Howard. I am the owner of DoDContract.com. I'm a former government procurement officer. I managed over $82 billion in federal contracts. Then went on to help companies sell to the government. We've advised and trained over 400 different businesses to sell everything from software and technology to construction services and really you name it to the federal government. So this YouTube channel and the podcast are all about helping you understand the actual way that you're going to sell to the government. And it's a little bit different than what you've probably heard before. If you want help selling to the government, you can head on over to DoDContract.com. We have 3 programs. We have a basically you do it yourself program, which is on-demand training. We have a done with you program where we help devise your strategy and put a step-by-step plan together for you. And then we have a done for you, which really 2 options there. If you're just getting started, we do everything from building your website, your capability statement, putting your strategy together, setting up your pipeline and process, training whoever is going to be in your sales team and launch you. And we also have, for those that have been in the business for a while, a more advanced program, which is tailored essentially to what your company is doing and how we are going to increase the volume of work you're doing with the government. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. We're talking about how to create those relationships. And guys, the best way to do that is by attending conferences. What conferences should you attend? There's a lot of things that you want to think about when you're picking a conference to attend. First thing is you want to be able to have a booth. Okay. And when I say a booth, and I'll put in some video of a recent conference that we attended with one of our clients. The client is a Dextech Corporation, and they have a family of companies that represent a lot of different technologies. Now, you're going to have to make a little bit of an investment to have a booth. It's not astronomical, but the reason you're doing this is because you are basically setting up a display of the service or technology, whatever it is that you're providing to the US government. Now, if you pick the right conference, what you're going to be able to do is have conversations with the users of whatever it is that you are selling, the people that are in charge of requirements and funding for putting companies on contract. You potentially are going to get in front of the acquisitions officers. So the people, the program managers, the contracting officers, the actual people that can put you on contract legally for the government. Because remember, most people in the government can't buy what you sell. But what we're doing with a conference is getting in front of the different groups of people that are involved with making a federal purchase. And then finally, if you pick the right conference, you could also get in front of senior leaders. If we're talking about the military, we're talking about general officers. We're talking about SESs, which is, even though civilians don't have rank, they do. And an SES is a general officer equivalent civilian that's going to be working in an organization. So picking the right conference is extremely important. And what you're looking for is, look, there's lots of conferences out there. There's a lot of people that are going to sell you a list of conferences to attend to. You need to know, is it mainly attended by industry or is it mainly attended by government? So in the clips that we're going to show you, this is a conference that I take our clients to often, which is mainly attended by military, right? In fact, industry is a small percentage of the people that are actually attending. And what that does is it puts you in the environment where you have a lot of different people you can talk to. So let's talk about some of the things that you're going to be able to find at a conference, right? One, you're going to be able to find leads. Right. So people are going to see your technology. You got to get in front of them. They're going to come up with ideas for your product or solution that maybe you had no idea existed. All right. You want to potentially set up meetings where you can demonstrate the technology. So we're setting up meetings. And really, all of this goes to building the relationship. Right. This is a problem that gets presented to us, especially when we're doing consultations. Rick, I don't have any relationships with the government. And so this is a way that you can create those relationships. And so this is what I do. This is what a lot of the people in the industry are doing. Successful companies, they're going to these conferences and they are picking them very directly. They're doing a lot of research before, because you can't go to all the conferences. There's a lot of them. I would recommend avoiding conferences that are mainly industry with some government speakers. You're not going to get the bang for the buck that you're going to get if you target a conference that is really designed for the government. So there are conferences that are going to be designed for the actual people in that government organization, so they can attend lectures and speeches and a bunch of other things. And maybe it's a little bit of R&R too for them. And there's a lot of conferences designed like that. And what they'll often have is a industry section as well. So you'll have a place for industry to set up booths. And what that does is offsets the cost for the government to rent out a convention center or something like that. So you want to look for those type of conferences. Now, again, I just want to reiterate some of the things that you're going to find here. You are going to find leads for new opportunities. You're going to try to set up meetings. If you can't set them up at the conference, you are going to use the contact information from the leads to set up meetings and demos and briefings of whatever it is that you have for them. You're going to find out also about upcoming contract opportunities. If you get in front of a senior leader, senior leaders can direct their guys to set up meetings with you. And that's exactly what happened with Dextech. And the result of that was they're going to be sitting in meetings with government officials that can buy what they sell. There's no way that you are going to get the kind of exposure that you can get at a conference if you do it correctly, sitting behind a laptop. If you're just sitting behind your laptop writing proposals and trying to engage with stuff, you're never going to get the exposure that you would if you go to a conference. Look, selling to the government, this is not the easy button, okay? This is the long game. It is. It's the long game. It takes a long time to win a government contract. It's not easy, but it can be very lucrative. It can be great for your business, right? But just make sure, eyes wide open going into this, you need to work a little bit harder than your peers are, right? You need to go to some of these conferences. You need to set up meetings. You need to get in front of the people that are buying what you sell. And provided what you are selling is quality, the quality services, quality people, you do what you say you're going to do, your technology is great, then good things are going to happen. You're just going to be persistent, do the things that we recommend in these videos. You're going to be amazed at the type of leads and relationships you create. That's all we got for today. If you want to learn more, head on over to dodcontract.com. We'd be glad to help you, and we will see you next time.